Hello students. In the previous video, we discussed about different Western companies which came to India to trade with. But when they came to India, there were other competitors of them from whom they have to compete for the prices and for getting goods, as the goods were in limited quantity but the demand was more. That's why they involved in conflicts and battles with each other. But in this part, we are going to discuss particularly the East India Company, which came to India in 1600. It started its trade from different parts of India. In the eastern coast, it established a factory in Masulipatam, on the western coast in Surat, and in the south in Madras. But we are going to discuss in this part particularly its trade in Bengal, because its trade in Bengal changed India's destiny, as you will see how. This company got the right to trade duty free from Aurangzeb. You should know what is the meaning of duty. Duty is a type of tax that is paid to the higher authorities for manufacturing, exporting, or importing of goods. But here, Aurangzeb allowed this company to trade duty free because the company was supposed to pay only a fixed amount, and in this way, the company could get more and more profit. In Bengal, it established its first factory in 1651 at Hooghly, near Hooghly River. And the persons, the agents, the official, you can say, who used to sit in those factories, who used to buy and sell the goods, was called factors. And factory was like their warehouse where they used to store their goods, and it was their office. But with the passage of time, this company started unfair demands. By 1696, it began building forts around the settlements with the permission of the rulers, but now it has asked for zamindari rights over three villages. Under the Mughals' rule, the persons who used to be the zamindars, they would collect taxes from the peasants and paid that tax to the Mughal emperors, and in this way he could get some part of that tax. But the company also wanted this right, as they wanted more profit. And as I have told you, the company persuaded Aurangzeb to grant the right to trade duty free, and it was given to it. But they tried to press for more concessions, and even whatever the rights were given to them, they started manipulating privileges of duty free trade given by Aurangzeb. As the company was allowed to trade duty free, but the persons who were doing their trade on their personal basis were supposed to pay that tax. But as I have explained you, they started manipulating these privileges and denied to pay this tax. And in this way, Bengal was facing enormous loss of revenue for their treasure. The Nawab Shujauddin in in 1733 complained against the company. He said that when the company came to India, it used to request in a humble manner for getting liberty to purchase land for building their settlements. But as I, the company was very cunning, very shrewd, they were very clever. They started building strong forts and even keeping arms, weapons, and tempting several merchants and others to take protection under them. And for this, they collected a revenue of about 1 lakh rupees. Not only this, they robbed and carried Indian people to their own countries and their other colonies for slavery and forced labor. In this way, they have started exploiting Indian treasure, Indian resources, and even people. These unfair demands of this company led to battles between the Nawabs and the company. There were two decisive battles, the Battle of Palasi in 1757 and the Battle of Buxar in 1764. The company was taking advantage of the weak rulers, but still there were some Nawabs of Bengal who denied them these rights and tried to and asked the company to pay their taxes. And some of them were Murshid Quli Khan, Ali Vardi Khan, and Sirajuddaulah. As I the battle reasons of battles were the company refused to pay taxes and that led to the loss of revenue. They started manipulating the right to trade duty free. The Nawabs demanded large tributes, and in this way the company undermined the authority of the Nawab. They were not giving that much respect that they deserve to the Nawabs, and as they wanted to enlarge their settlements, buy up villages, and build their forts, but the Nawabs refused them from doing this, and in this way, they started writing disrespectful letters and even humiliated the Nawabs and their officials. And the result of this disrespect and humiliation was the Battle of Palasi. Palasi is a place in Bengal, and there were a type of flower that is palash that is found there in abundance. That's why this place got its name as Palasi. What was the immediate reason of the Battle of Palasi? In 1756, the strong ruler or Nawab died and his successor was Sirajuddaulah. But AIC wanted a puppet ruler. Puppet ruler means a ruler that could do according that could do work according to their wishes and could give them more and more concessions and fulfill their wishes. That's why they tried to help Sirajuddaullah's rival to become Nawab of Bengal. And this infuriated the Nawab and asked the company to stop meddling or interfering in their political matters, and even he asked them to stop fortification and pay the revenues, and he wanted to expel the company from Bengal. The company started negotiations, agreements, but that agreement failed, and in this way, Sirajuddaulah took action against the company. He took 30,000 soldiers and marched to the company's factory at Kasim Bazar. He captured the company's officials, locked companies' warehouses, blockaded their ships, and marched to Calcutta to control their fort, that was Fort William. And but the company was not ready to be expelled from there. That's why this also took action, and he called their other officials from Madras, and Robert Clive came there with his force and fought against them at Plassey. Robert Clive. Robert Clive was one of the key figures who overthrew the Nawab from his throne and seized control over Bengal. That's why you should keep his role in establishing the power of East India Company in Bengal, and after that which led to their rule all over the country. But there was other reason also of the defeat, and the person was Mir Jafar. He was the commander of Nawab, and he refused to fight. He didn't fight, and he favored the East India Company. As the East India Company has tempted him, or you can say lured him, that after the defeat of Sirajuddaulah, he will be the next ruler. That's why he helped the company and he became a puppet ruler of the company. And it could also happen that the company itself could take the responsibility of ruling the territory directly, but it didn't, because at that time it did not think about ruling India. Its main motive or objective was just the expansion of the trade, and it could be done with a puppet ruler. That's why they were not interested in ruling, and the local rulers were willing to grant them the privileges that they wanted. That's why they made them the rulers and were themselves were busy in trade only.